Today we're going to be adding the version 3.0 of Hirozu Spring Control. So what you want to do is first extract your RAR file and then drag and drop Hirozu Spring Control onto your assets in Unity. I'm going to assume that you already have your avatar there and ready to go. Make sure that your avatar prefab has been unpacked. Open Hirozu Spring Control, drag and drop the prefab into the scene, then drag it onto your avatar. Unpack the prefab. Next, expand your armature all the way to your left and right, either arms or legs. It can be anything, it does not matter. I personally like it at the very tip of my fingers, so I'm going to expand it all the way to the tip of my fingers, like so. Just like that. Now, what you want to do is expand Hirozu Spring Control, move the left into your left and your right into your right, whatever. So for me, it would be the fingers. This item right here that you cannot see is where the spring ball will be placed. So if you do not like the position, do move it to the one that you prefer. I like how it's based already because it's just in front of the finger, so I'll keep it there for now. You can do the same with your left by just clicking on left and then moving it around to how you please. Next, what you want to do is click on your avatar. Where it says gesture, if there's nothing here, click on default gesture and drag and drop gesture spring override into your gestures layer. On the other hand, if you already have a gesture, what you need to do is click on FX, which is your FX controller. Click at the top where it says animator, and in here you need to make 4 new layers. It doesn't matter what name these layers have as long as they exist, and you need to change all of their weights to 1. Once their weights are 1, go to Hirozu Spring Control, then click on Gesture Spring Override, and you need to copy all of these by just copying here and pasting it into the new one. Make sure that they're on separate layers, just like so. If you run into an issue, for example, I will copy this one, copy, and then I go to the avatar, go to FX, click on FX, and then add it to the new layer, like so. If this is not the original line, so you can see here it goes straight to this one. If it's on this one instead, for example, like this, what you need to do is click on the correct one and set as layer as default state. This will fix the issue. I'm going to delete these because we don't have a gesture layer to begin with. Next, what you want to do is click on your avatar. Scroll down on the right side where it says parameters, click on parameters. Then you need to add 2 more parameters. The first one should be an integer. The second one should stay as float, or should be float. The integer should be called spring. The float should be called spring size. Make sure that these are capital sensitive, so spring size should be exactly how it's written here or it will not work. Next, click on your avatar, scroll down on the right side where it says menu, click on it. Click on your menu, and then add a new control. Name this control whatever you like, I will call it spring. Change the type to submenu, and then where it says submenu, click on the little dot next to it and click spring menu. Once you've done all of that, it will work automatically. Everything is good to go. For the new spring control, the gestures to make it work are point to make it go to your hand, and then if you want to throw it, you need to make the peace sign. Anything else will pause the spring control. If you want to change the design of the spring control, go to Hirozu Spring Control, Textures, and then edit this one. I provided Pyomi for the duration of this video, but you may change it to something else if you'd like. For example, you can change it to standard or anything else that you desire. If you want to view what the ball looks like whilst you're editing it, expand Hirozu Spring Control Spring Joint Always Show, and then enable spring toggle in the top right here. Here, you can edit it however you like. So for example, I can change the color. You can see that the color is slightly changing. You may edit this ball however you like. Feel free to edit it as much as you want. Make sure that you disable spring toggle once you're finished with it. Finally, if you want to change the mesh of everything, you need to click on this, and where it says sphere, you need to change it for every single one. So you have to expand all of these, Control, click, to select all of them, and then whilst clicking on sphere, change it to a different mesh. Once you're finished with that, you need to do the same thing for spring pause on all of these. So as you expand, it says spring pause and spring pause right here. You need to change it from sphere to something else. Where it says throw spring, you also need to click on all of these. Scroll down on the right side, where it says renderer, click it, and then change it from sphere, where it says mesh, to something else as well. Yes, you have to do it for all of these or it will not work. If you believe that your spring control is too small or too big, you'd have to change the size for every single one right here, where it says scale. You need to choose a minimal size. So for example, if I enable this, at the moment it says 0.1 as minimal size, and let's expand it to something else that we like. So let's say I like this size to be 10. So this is my maximum size, and this is what I'm happy with. So remember those two numbers. We had 0.1 and 10. In order to edit it, what you need to do is not touch these. Do not change the size of any of these or it will break. What you need to do is click on Assets, Hirozu Spring Control, and then Animations, and where it says Spring Size, drag and drop that onto your avatar. Once you've dragged and dropped it into your avatar within the scene, click on your avatar, click on Animation, click here, and then click on Spring Size. What you need to do is change these first values, so you expand all of these and change all of these first values to the number that you liked as the smallest. As you saw, I like the smallest number to be 0.1, so I set it to 0.1. And then when you move it all the way to the other side, the fastest way is to click these two arrows. You need to change all of these to 10. This keyframe right here, you can delete. If you are changing it, you must delete this keyframe or it won't work. This keyframe is only here for the original prefab. Finally, the next thing, if you run into issues or it doesn't work, try checking if your animations are broken or not. So what you need to do is click on Hirozu Spring Control, and then Animations, Single Spring, and then click on Spring Right, Idle, and then Spring and Left while shift clicking, so you select all of these. Drag and drop it onto your avatar. Once you've dragged and dropped it onto your avatar, yet again, click on Animation, click on your avatar, and then go through each one. So where it says Spring and Left, if both of these are yellow, that means the animation is broken. And what you need to do is expand your armature again until you find your left and right. And where it says Spring and Left, press record, click left, and then change mass to 1. What I recommend is if you delete it and then type 1, or type 0 and then 1. It will automatically be placed here. Once you finish with that, click on Spring and Right, change this by pressing record, change right from 0 or whatever it is, delete it, type 0, delete it, type 1. When it says spring left idle, do the same, press record, and where it says mass on left, change it from 1 to 0. The best way to do it is just deleting it. If it glows red, that is good. Then do the same for right idle, press record, click on right, at the top, delete it. And it should say 0 and it will be placed here. If it says 1E-07, that is perfectly fine as well. Thank you for watching the tutorial. That is all I have to say, and I hope you enjoy the new update for throwing it. Have fun, but don't have too much fun.